I love how everyone laughs at my jokes. It's awesome. It's sarcasm, by the way, sarcasm. All right, so we got 2 Marines, 3 Marines, a Marine, and a Marauder out of there. So I mean, this is quite interesting. It's quite curious why he's putting out Marines from these tech lab barracks is when he could drop another barracks, put a tech lab up, and he can put out more Marauders, and those are going to be very important for fighting against the Protoss here. But you know what? Whatever. He can put out Marines if he wants. People want to join that army as a Marine, get shot down, shoot up, sliced up, whatever, you know. Uh, Freaking Terran Marines. They're like the shit of shits. They certainly are. Alright, so tearing up these rocks at the gold, wanting to expand. Those rocks are in the way. You know, it kind of makes you wonder why those rocks, how the hell those rocks got there. You know, there's not a mountain around. I guess there's a cliff there, but wouldn't rocks fall downwards given gravity? It's kind of strange. I just find that interesting. There's like rocks down here, but there's no way that they could have gotten there from like this cliff or this cliff over here or anything. And it's not like there was a rock slide or anything. There's just huge boulders out in the middle of fucking nowhere. I mean, hey, that's just maybe that was put there on purpose. A little strategy there. I don't really know. But we do have a third coming up for TADCereith at the gold. He's gonna take that gold because he likes gold. This is you know, gold's nice. You get it in bars sometimes. You can make necklaces out of it, jewelry. Get an army moving up here because he's gonna say no to that expansion. It's not right that he gets to have the gold and I don't. You know, I want the gold chains and the brass knuckles. Brass are not gold. I'm sorry. But he is also gonna put up his third here at the blue mineral patch at the bottom right. And that's the cheap stuff. That's kind of like if you were to compare what the two are going for here. I mean, we're talking freaking Walmart brand minerals to like name brand minerals here. It's to put that in perspective, you know, China Mart to, I guess, good quality. Not that I have anything against the Chinese if they're already watching, but just China Mart stuff is not that great. Oh, and look, there's a little probe that decided to walk into the line of fire. You know, just minding his own business. He gets blown up. Really sucks to be him. We got some High Templar on the field. That's good. But aside from that, a robotics bay with no robots, nothing, no immortals, no colossi. Do we have an observer out? It doesn't even look like an observer is put out here. Another probe gets sniped off by those siege tanks. When is he going to learn? Those probes need to stop suiciding into the tank line. And no matter how hard their work is, I'm pretty sure they can get over it and do the work that is required of them. So we're finally building something. It looks like an observer coming out of the robotics facility. And we got more gateways. 4 gateways put down because, you know, 4 instant, well, nearly instant warping is not enough. You need like 20 of them in order to play properly because, you know, let's all be honest. Protoss is not as OP as people sometimes make it out to be. I mean, yeah, sure, they get their shields and everything, but they're kind of crap, you know. They're kind of useless for the most part. That's more sarcasm, by the way. It's not true. Okay. So we got a little bit of conflict here, and TADCereith is going to pull his army back as those tanks are hammering him from afar. See, that's a good beachhead. It's definitely a really good thing that JubJub the Hutt is sitting there, and he's just tearing apart that army from afar. They can't get at those Marines or those Marauders, and that's just not good. But you know what? There's a reason why JubJub the Hutt is the most notorious gangster in the universe, or galaxy, whatever the fuck it was in the movie. He knows his shit. He's putting his tanks behind there, keeping them just within range so he can support his army, but not so far ahead that he can take them. They're getting taken out. They're getting tanken out. Ha 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 ha. A little cheap joke there. You know, the tanks getting tanken out. fine then, don't laugh. It's not like I cared. Okay, so he unsieges. I guess he's gonna unpack and move forward, but there's a little bit of a problem there because, sir, there's an army in the way there, and that army is tearing us apart, the tanks say, as the Marines come running into the middle of these storms. Those aren't storm clouds, those aren't rain clouds, that's a psionic storm, and those Marines are dead. Deader than dead. In fact, what is that, what would you call deader than dead? I think, what was it, from that one show? He's, cadaverific. He's so dead that he's cadaverific. And got TADCereith running his own stalkers into that psionic storm. Like, where does that come from? Where was that ever a good idea? But you know what? It's okay, because he's expendable. Nobody really cares about these troops, because you know they don't really... They're useless. I mean, come on, think about it. You could build more of them. And trust me, pretty much every country thinks the same way about all their troops as well. They're expendable. You can always put more out there. So I guess JubJub the Hutt is expecting a little air to come in here and harass his third. So he's dropping down the turret before he even knows what's going on. I don't know if he has a scout out, but it doesn't even look like... I mean, there was no point behind it because there's no Stargate out for TADCereith, but TADCereith is finally taking his third base here at the cheapo Walmart brand blue minerals that are opposite from the third base that JubJub the Hutt has taken. And speaking of JubJub the Hutt's third base, he does have a planetary fortress here that's going to make that a little tougher to take. We do have some Vikings moving around though, and that's going to be some harassment, because, you know, that's what Vikings do. They run in, they pillage, they run out, and it's actually kind of cool, really, if you look at history. I guess history's kind of cool, I think, at least. Get another observer coming out here from the robotics bay, even though we already have an observer one for the army, and well, no, maybe not. I guess not. No, because it is listed. I just don't see it. Where'd it go? Oh, I see. He's flying it over here to the enemy base. Seeing this little army here that just took out his pylon. I guess he was planning on warping in some backyard troops there. Little bit of warp-in harassment, but that was faltered. I guess JubJub the Hutt didn't like the position of that pylon or that probe, as he figures that
his base looks nice, like destroyed and not there. There's another thing, you know, have you noticed how anytime anything is destroyed, it's like it falls apart, it breaks down, and then it kind of disappears? It's like, where does it go, you know? Where exactly does it go? Like those rocks. You saw those rocks, and I caught those at the very last moment there, but they just kind of disappeared. They kind of burrowed into the ground like fucking worms, you know? Like, where does that come from? I guess this, like... I don't know, it's just weird. I don't even know how to describe that. And we got some Vikings sitting over here. You know, they're just chilling. Just, sitting around. Lazy Vikings, which is interesting, because I don't think Vikings are lazy, but they're lazy, so they're kind of an oxymoron, lazy Vikings. But we do have a 200 army moving up the center of the map. We got some tanks, we got some Marines, we got some Marauders. We are good to go, it looks like. That's what Red's thinking down here. He's like, he's got this game in the bag. There is no way TADCereith is going to be able to defend against this. He has next to nothing, and he pretty much knows this by now. I mean, he tore apart that army so far, tore apart that army that he had, but no, what is he doing here? He's running back. Oh, again, TADCereith just runs right into his psionic storms. You know, I'd hate to be something in anything. I'd hate to be anything in TADCereith's army. He'll kill his own troops for this. He wants to win so badly. He doesn't care who he shoots at. You know, it's just as long as he's killing something, I guess. And he's just gonna drop down sonic storms like a madman as some DTs, and I'm just realizing this. I'm just seeing these DTs come into play here, or they were into play earlier, but I did not see them earlier. And they're just they're tearing apart those Marauders, tearing apart those tanks, ripping everything apart. So it looks like JubJub the Hutt did not have it as well as he thought he did, and he's just gonna have to take a dump with Caerith. Ha, you see what I did there? TADCereith, take a dump with Caerith.